This book is the story of a single year in World War II, 1942. The subtitle is The Year That Tried Men's Souls. Winston Groom regards 1942 as the pivotal year in the entire war. I gotta say, this book actually deserves the kind of terms that book publishers routinely use in advertising. Things like riveting, pulse pounding, page turner. Now, it's primarily a chronological narrative of the entire year. Within that simple framework, Groom deals with three main topics. They are, first, the major events and battles that took place. Then along the way, he gets into the main personalities. And finally, he includes some discussions of the key strategies that took place. The point of view is primarily American, with maybe a bias toward the Pacific theater. As to the first topic I mentioned, the major battles and events that took place, he deals with the aftermath of Pearl Harbor, the collapse of the Philippines, including the Bataan Death March, the Battle of Midway, the invasion of Guadalcanal, and the campaign in North Africa. His most intense focus, I think, was on Midway and Guadalcanal. As far as personalities go, he gives brief and I'd say mostly complimentary sketches of people like FDR, Nimitz, MacArthur, Doolittle, Eisenhower, Montgomery, and George Patton. Paying as much attention as he does to the Pacific, he also includes sketches of the main Japanese admirals and generals that were in charge. Now, he also includes discussions of a couple of several lesser-known characters. They include a lady spy who spied for us in Manila, another lady who did something similar in Washington, D.C., and he's got some of the people who were caught up by the Japanese in their initial sweep through China and the Philippines. The portraits that he draws of these personalities may be a little on the sketchy side, but they're absolutely compelling. As to my third topic, he includes some discussion and analysis of the strategies that the Americans and Japanese in particular were pursuing in the Pacific. But he also includes the strategic discussions between the Americans and the Brits regarding the approach and the timing for the campaign in the European theater. When you go online and look at reviews of this book, you'll find that most people really liked it, and you can absolutely include me in that camp. On the other hand, there was a fair amount of criticism. Some people said it was way too superficial. Other reviewers were upset that he mostly ignored other countries who fought on the Allied side. And finally, some people objected to what they call his approach of a flag-waving pep rally. I think all that's unfair and, quite frankly, kind of snarky. It's tough to discuss an event as complex and momentous as World War II, and in particular a single year in that war, within a manageable framework. Quite a challenge, but he manages to pull it off in a little over 500 pages. I think he handled that challenge very, very well indeed. And you know, most history buffs know that there's plenty of additional details on everything he covers in this book. I've read a fair number of books about World War II, and I sure couldn't pick off inaccuracies or badly screwed up analysis. As to whether the book is too U.S. centered, quite frankly, I sure didn't mind it. This is an absolutely great overview of an important year in our history. We started out that year badly equipped, badly trained, badly led, but we, and I mean Americans, got it all straightened out in that 12-month period and ultimately turned ourselves into a superpower. Now, as miserable a state as this country is in right now, the experience of this one year reminds us that we've got the ability to bounce right back. If you want or need to be reminded of that, pick this book up. 1942, The Year That Tried Men's Souls, Winston Groom. I'll see you next week. Take care.